Are you avoiding carbs because you think they will make you gain weight? Well, here's why that belief might actually be making your cravings worse. So if you ever skipped bread, pasta, or rice to be good, if you find yourself obsessing over carbs all day only to binge on them at night, if you've labeled carbs as bad, fattening, or off limits, you're likely following a food rule that's not only wrong, it's actively sabotaging your progress. And if you're wondering why you should even listen to me, hi, I'm Sarah, a certified holistic health coach who helps women break free from food rules and rebuild trust with food and their bodies. And as someone who spent years terrified of carbs, I totally get it. I used to think avoiding carbs was the key to staying lean and healthy, but when I studied nutrition science and metabolism during my health coaching training, I learned that the avoid carbs because they make you fat rule doesn't just fail, it makes your cravings stronger and your metabolism slower. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly why this happens, what carbs actually do in your body, and how to eat them in a way that supports your goals and your sanity. But first, let me explain why your brain becomes obsessed with the exact foods you're trying to avoid. Here's the food rule that's keeping you stuck. Don't eat carbs, they make you fat. Maybe you avoid bread, pasta, or whatever completely. Maybe you think fruit has too much sugar. Maybe you've been told that carbs spike insulin and cause weight gain. Maybe you've even felt proud of skipping the bread basket or ordering the burger with no bun. Whatever version you follow of this rule is based on the myth that carbs are uniquely fattening. But here's what actually happens when you follow this rule. Your brain becomes carb obsessed. The moment you label carbs as forbidden, your brain starts fixating on them. You walk past the bakery and can't stop thinking about the bread. You see pasta on a menu and it's all you can focus on. So your brain interprets carb restriction as a threat to survival. Then your energy crashes. Carbs are your brain's preferred fuel source. Your brain uses 20% of your daily calories and runs primarily on glucose. So without enough carbs, you feel foggy, tired, and irritable. Then your sleep suffers. Carbs increase the uptake of tryptophan, I hope I pronounced it right, by the brain, where it is metabolized in serotonin and melatonin, the sleep hormone, so they will help you sleep. So without carbs, especially in the evening, your sleep quality decreases. And on top of that, poor sleep increases hunger hormones and cravings the next day. Then also your workouts suffer. Your muscles store carbs as glycogen for energy, so without adequate carbs, your performance suffers and recovery is slower. You feel weak and unmotivated to exercise. And then the inevitable binge happens. Eventually, your willpower will break down and you will eat the carbs. But because you've been restricting, you don't just have a normal portion. You eat massive amounts because your brain thinks this might be your last chance. And then you blame the carbs. But it was never about the carbs, it was about the restriction. So let's talk about what actually makes you gain weight. Well, first off, of course, calories cause weight gain and not carbs. Fat gain happens when you eat more calories than you burn, regardless of the source. You can gain weight eating too much of any macronutrients, so protein, fat, or carbs. You can also lose weight while eating carbs if you're in a calorie deficit. Insulin isn't the villain. Yes, carbs raise insulin, but insulin is not inherently bad. Insulin helps you shuttle nutrients into your cells for energy and recovery. And protein also raises insulin, so sometimes even more than carbs do, but without a significant blood sugar spike. Nonetheless, insulin only promotes fat storage when you're eating in a calorie surplus. And truly your body needs carbs to function optimally. Carbs are required for brain function, mental clarity, thyroid hormone production, serotonin production for mood and sleep, muscle glycogen for exercise and performance, proper digestion and gut health. So as you can see, carbs aren't optional, they're essential. And the real problem is the restrict binge cycle. When you restrict carbs, you create a psychological and physiological drive to overeat them. This leads to consuming far more carb calories than you would have if you just eaten them normally all along. The restriction is what causes the overeating, not the carbs themselves. And studies comparing low carb and moderate carb diets with equal calories show similar weight loss, and people who include carbs in their diet have better long-term adherence and less binge eating. Cultures that eat high-carb diets, like the Mediterranean or Asian diets, have lower obesity rates than low-carb cultures. So the fear of carbs is causing more problems than carbs ever could. Here's what usually happens when someone tries to avoid carbs. So let's say week 1, you feel proud and in control. I'm finally being disciplined. Then week 2 comes around, you start getting tired and cranky, but you push through. By week 3, you can't stop thinking about bread, pasta, and cookies. And then by week 4, the inevitable, if not earlier, happens. You break and binge eat more carbs in one sitting than you would have eaten in a month of normal eating. So the result is that you end up consuming way more carb calories through binging than you ever would have through a regular balanced diet. So the real kicker here is that you blame the carbs for making you gain weight when it was actually the restriction that caused overeating in the first place. So this isn't a character flaw or lack of willpower. This is basic biology. I always talk about how the restriction is always what makes things worse, and not the things we think that make it worse. So when you restrict any macronutrients that your body needs, it will eventually drive you to seek it out, often in larger quantities than you would have eaten naturally. The rule that carbs make you fat doesn't prevent weight gain. It creates the exact conditions that lead to weight gain, the restrict-binge cycle. So the better approach is carb confidence. Let's replace fear with strategy, and here's how to reintroduce carbs without chaos. Principle 1, understand that carbs are fuel and not the enemy. Carbs are one of the 3 essential macronutrients your body needs. They wouldn't exist if you wouldn't need them. So your body needs carbs as energy to think, to move, to sleep, to digest, and just in general function optimally. Then principle number 2, choose carbs that make you feel good. Focus on how different carbs make you feel rather than avoiding them entirely. Complex carbs like oats, sweet potatoes, and quinoa provide steady energy, whereas simple carbs like fruit provide quick energy and important nutrients. Even refined carbs, so the processed carbs, have a place when eaten mindfully and in moderation. Then principle number 3, pair carbs with protein and fat. Eating carbs with protein and fat slows down digestion and stabilizes blood sugar. This prevents energy crashes and reduces cravings. So examples would be apple with almond butter, oatmeal with some Greek yogurt and some peanut butter on top, pasta with chicken and olive oil. There's so many options. Then moving on to principle number 4, time your carbs strategically. Include carbs throughout the day, not just at one meal. Have some carbs at breakfast for brain fuel, include carbs around workouts for performance and recovery, eat carbs at dinner to support sleep and overnight recovery. Simply put, include it in every meal. Principle number 5, practice carb neutrality. Stop labeling carbs as good or bad. Bread isn't morally inferior to quinoa, and they just serve different purposes. You in fact can include both refined and complex carbs in a healthy diet. Then principle number 6, listen to your body's carb needs. Some people feel better with more carbs where others need less carbs. Your needs might change based on activity levels, stress, and hormones. So for example, your cycle, usually when we're in our menstrual phase, we need more carbs as compared to when we're ovulating. So pay attention to your energy, mood, sleep, and cravings to find your sweet spot. And when you stop restricting on carbs, your energy stabilizes. With adequate carbs, your brain gets the fuel it needs. You feel mentally clear and physically energized throughout the day. Your cravings decrease because when carbs aren't forbidden, they lose their power over you. You can have bread without eating the entire loaf. And your sleep improves because carbs at dinner help produce serotonin for better sleep. Better sleep means better hunger hormone regulation the next day. Then your workouts improve. With adequate glycogen stores, you have energy for exercise, and better workouts mean better body composition and mood. And your metabolism speeds up, so carbs support thyroid function and overall metabolic rate. Your body doesn't need to slow down to conserve energy. And lastly, your relationship with food improves. You no longer feel out of control. You stop seeing food as a moral issue. You feel peace, and that is the goal. Carbs are not the enemy. Once again, restriction is. Here's how to transition away from carb restriction in a safe and sustainable way. This is a gentle 4-step reset, so try 1 per week or move at your own pace. Important is to just do it step by step and not trying to implement all at once, because this leads to overwhelm and quickly giving up again. Step number 1, or week 1, should you choose so, add back a previously avoided carb. So choose something you've been scared of, be it oats, bread, fruit, and include it once a day. Observe how it makes you feel. No judgment, just curiosity. Then step number 2, practice pairing. Combine carbs with protein or healthy fats like toast with avocado and egg, and feel the difference in energy, satisfaction, and stability. Step number 3, add carbs to dinner. Carbs in the evening can support serotonin production and sleep, as we've learned. So try rice, potatoes, or pasta, and then notice how you feel the next morning. Step number 4, let go of the food labels. What if no food was bad? Well, practice eating carbs without moralizing it. Let bread be bread, let fruit be fruit, and watch how your cravings calm down when food becomes neutral again. So if you've been avoiding carbs, if you've blamed them for your weight gain or your cravings, I hope this showed you that the real issue isn't the carbs, it's the fear and restriction around them. Carbs don't make you fat, excess calories do. And when you stop fighting carbs and start including them with strategy and self-trust, everything shifts. You feel energized, you feel balanced, and you feel free. And if you want more content like this, or real science-backed advice about making peace with all foods, come follow me on Instagram @nourishwith.sarah. I share daily tips about food freedom, behind the scenes of my own journey from carb fear to confidence, and honest conversations about what it really takes to trust your body. And if this video helped you realize that carb restriction might be sabotaging your progress, please hit that like and subscribe button, maybe even the bell, and drop a comment and let me know, what is one carb you've been afraid to eat that you're ready to try again? Remember, your body needs carbs to function optimally. Trust it to handle them when you include them as a part of a balanced, satisfying diet. So lots of love, and I will see you in the next video.